I'm Batman. I talk like I have laryngitis. I had movies. I am the reason people watch DC. I am the Dark Knight, and I am the star of the new Superman sequel to Man of Steel. It's my movie. So, what do you get when you get Zack Snyder in charge of the Superman movie or the sequel? Get a fucking Batman movie. That's what you get. As everyone has heard, the sequel to Man of Steel is called Batman vs. Superman. Now, I am ranting about this because I'm pissed about this, and I know I'm probably not the only one. Look, let me go ahead and clear something up. I love Batman. He is awesome. Batman is awesome. He's really cool. But he's had his movies. He's had way more movies than any superhero I can think of. I can't think of another superhero that has even come close to tying him in movies. Batman had his movies. This is Superman's time. It is the Man of Steel's time. It is time for Henry Cavill. It is Man of Steel time. But what have they done? Instead of giving him the spotlight again and making him another great movie, no, we're going to throw Batman into it. And from what I've read on Wikipedia and from other sources, not only are they going to put Batman in it, but watch. Do you get the symbolism here, guys? Batman is taking over Superman's sequel, and I have a big damn problem with that. Okay, first of all, I don't care that they got a new actor to play Batman. I could care less, honestly. I think Ben Affleck is going to make a good Batman. Nobody thought Christian Bale was going to make a good Batman, and he did. But what I have a problem with is DC. And I'm going to give you 3 examples of why I'm scared for the new Man of Steel, Batman movie. I'm just going to call it a Batman movie, because it seems like DC won't let Batman go. They're afraid that without Batman they're going to fail. What it is here's the first reason. DC is rushing. Okay? They want to catch Marvel. They want to make a Justice League movie. They're going to introduce Wonder Woman. I've already heard there's going to be an appearance of the Flash. They're talking about Martian Manhunter. They are rushing this thing. Zack Snyder, if you are ever going to listen to anybody, if you watch any videos, which I'm probably sure you don't, but if you do, listen to the advice of the fans and just slow down, okay? You hit a gold mine with Man of Steel. It was perfect, in my opinion. It had a few flaws, but it was perfect. It brought Superman back to the big screen, and he is the cornerstone of DC. I mean, if you think about it, the Man of Steel, Superman, is what started the whole damn superhero genre to what it is today for DC. He is the golden boy, just like Spider-Man is the golden boy for Marvel. You need to do him right. You introduced him to us in Man of Steel. Now you need to give us a sequel with Lex Luthor and maybe Metallo, somebody like that. You want to bring Batman into it, that's fine. I think he should have a cameo, but don't make him the main focus of the story. I've already heard about what they're going with, and I have nothing against Frank Miller because I own that comic book, The Dark Knight Returns, and it's a great story, but I don't understand how you go from Man of Steel to The Dark Knight Returns. Stupid move. First of all, let's be dead honest about something. There is no way possible, with the exception of a kryptonite ray, kryptonite period, that Batman in this universe or any can beat Superman. It's not possible. And in that comic book, I'm insulted that they let Batman beat him, because it should not have happened. You can't. It's impossible. The man cannot be hurt except by kryptonite and magic, and Batman has neither of those. Number two, you haven't even introduced kryptonite yet. So in this movie, the sequel they're working on, if they introduce kryptonite and it's Batman that introduces it, that really makes no sense, okay? So yeah, I have a big problem with this. I'm looking forward to this. I was looking forward to this as a sequel to The Man of Steel. One of the, in my opinion, the best Superman movies. It gave everybody what they wanted. It was from Superman, the reversion, to the badass punching and flying and the Zod fight. The Man of Steel, today's version of Superman. Now you're going to take this great character and you're going to put him second to fiddle to the Dark Knight. And you're going to make the two go toe-to-toe. There's no competition. And that's what's going to happen, and that's what I'm afraid of. They're going to turn this into, it's going to be a fight, it's going to be a grudge match, and Batman's going to come out on top, because he does in the comic book, and it makes no sense. And it's going to piss off a lot of Superman fans, because let's face it, I'm not going to see Batman. I'm not going to see a Batman movie. I'm hopefully going to see the sequel to Man of Steel. It's stupid. I can't comprehend why they're doing this. There is the rumor going around that the guy that plays Arrow on the CW show Arrow may make a cameo and may actually be involved in the Justice League movie as the Green Arrow. I don't know if that's true. It'd be awesome. But you're rushing it. See, what Marvel does that makes a lot of sense is they introduce their characters one movie at a time. They didn't throw everybody in one movie. So you got Iron Man, you got, Captain America, the first Avenger. We had Hulk. They redid that. It was, Thor. And then after all these movies came out and people knew who they were and got established with them, then we combine, after a sequel or two, into the Avengers. And that's what DC needs to do, and you're choking. You're not doing it right. You're just going to put all these people in one movie. It doesn't make any sense. It's almost like you're saying, okay, now that Superman is here, it makes all the other superheroes come out of hiding. Well, we don't know who they are. And if you think about it, besides Superman, Batman, Flash, and Wonder Woman, most people don't even know who the other members of the Justice League are. So I think you're rushing it. You should just leave it a Man of Steel movie with the occasional appearance in the movie of maybe Batman and Wonder Woman. Here's 2 reasons I think you should do this. Number 1, if you want to try and learn from Marvel's mistakes, look at Spider-Man 3. They put too many storylines going together, and they pissed off all the fans by saying that Venom was going to be in it. And how long was Venom really in the movie? Seriously, guys, what? Maybe 25 minutes if you look back at it. It was a cheap appearance to please the fans, and what they ended up doing was confusing the story and bombarding it with stuff that shouldn't have been in it. They added too many villains. Batman is another good example. The Batman Returns added 2 villains, and it worked because they kept the storyline going. But then Batman Forever added the Riddler and Two-Face, which never should have happened, and then let's just not talk about Batman and Robin. The Dark Knight trilogy is awesome, but as far as I'm concerned, Christopher Nolan, it is your fault that you ended The Dark Knight the way you did. If you had plans to bring Batman back, you should have left it where Christian Bale could come back as Batman. Instead, now you've realized you've messed up, and you have to go back and you have to come up with a new Batman. which you've angered a lot of people about because it's not a guarantee that Affleck's going to make a good Batman. So, you think about it, you're relying on a new person to play this character, which I think he'll do okay, but at the same time, you're relying on this guy to make the next Superman movie, and that's wrong. That'd be like if they made the next Amazing Spider-Man and the star of it not being Spider-Man, being Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. It would be cool to see him in the movie with Spider-Man, but at the same time, how do you call it a Spider-Man movie if Wolverine is the main star? So if you want to do that, my personal opinion, just go ahead and change the title to Batman, The Dark Knight Returns, and cameo with the Man of Steel. Because that's what it sounds like so far. It sounds to me like, or just call it this, call it The Man of Steel 2. Batman Returns or something, because he's taking the focus of the movie. I'm not liking this so far. You are going to upset the fans if you let Batman beat Superman, because like I said, it will never happen, and I don't care how many Batman fans get angry about it. As you see, I have my two favorite here. I'm not mixed on this. This man right here cannot beat him without kryptonite. And you haven't even introduced it yet, so it won't make any sense. But I know that's what's going to happen. I'm so worked up about this. It's bad enough now that the year's been pushed back. And I understand why, because you're scared of Marvel. Marvel's already said next year, 2015, they're coming out with the Avengers 2 Age of Ultron. You don't want to bring your movie out at the same time because, let's face facts, not only is it sounding bad now, but you know damn well that the Avengers is going to topple it. You can't touch Marvel right now, DC, and I hate to say that because I'm a bigger DC fan than Marvel, and I love DC Comics. But you're wrong in doing it the wrong way. You're rushing. See, here's what you need to do. Like I said, take the time to tell your stories about the characters and then bring them all together. Get another sequel, bring the new Batman and bring his own movie, but introduce him in the Man of Steel 2 and then bring him into a brand new, his own movie after Man of Steel 2. You're not going to do that, though. You're trying to put everybody in the same movie. You're going to bomb. It's going to turn into a Mortal Kombat Annihilation where everybody got thrown into the same damn movie and nobody knew what was going on. Nobody cared because got tired of seeing everybody. That's what's going to happen. X3 is a perfect example, too, because it was an X-Men movie where they did stuff they shouldn't have done, and they threw too many characters in, and they ruined a lot of it. And it was a disaster. You're doing the same thing, and the other thing a lot of people need to realize, and you need to realize, DC, is don't rush. And the reason why is because Marvel's on top now, but you can't stay on top forever, and eventually they're gonna fizzle out. Because I love superhero movies, but I will be dead honest. I am really getting sick of every summer there's a new Marvel movie coming out, a new Captain America, a new Iron Man, a new Thor. I'm really getting sick of it. There's no surprise really anymore because of the internet, so it's like, I really could care less, you know. Why don't you take some time off and then come back? But no, they just keep flooding and flooding and flooding and putting and throwing it in your face, and it's like after a while I'm just getting sick of it. It's kind of like one of the reasons I don't collect the Hot Toys is because every time I turn around, Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, the Avengers, it's Marvel. Hot Toys is Marvel, and it's getting old. That's why one reason I don't even touch them. DC, you should do the right thing. Take your time. You're going to ruin Superman. Now, I don't know about everybody else. I will never give up on the Man of Steel. I will never give up on Superman. I even like Superman Returns. I hate to admit that, but Brandon Routh made a good Superman. Wasn't crazy about the costume colors or the idea with the leather cape, but it was a different take. It was okay. I just didn't like the fact that they said it took place and takes the place of Superman 3 and 4, which, you know, decredits those movies. Even though they weren't the best, they're still part of a legacy, and you can't do that. Just because they were bad, you can't go back and erase them. It doesn't work like that. So my personal opinion is, if you mess this up, there's a chance that you could screw Superman for another whole generation in movies. And if you don't believe me, look what happened after Superman 4. Not only did Reeve not play it again, but the ratings were so bad, there wasn't a Superman movie for what? Almost another 20 years, wasn't it? Something like that? 15, 20 years? Yeah, that's bull, okay? Like I said, I love Batman, but this man has had his share of the film time. And it's only fair that this man gets his share now. It's his time. I don't care if he makes a cameo in it, or, he's in some of the movie, but don't make the whole movie about him. Because then it's not a Superman sequel. It's Batman with Superman in it, and I'm not cool with that. My third gripe with it is I don't like the fact that Wonder Woman's in it. We don't know why she's in it. They don't there's no reason she should be in it. Maybe if they had like a mention of her, but and maybe you see a picture of her or something. I can understand that, and maybe that's what they're going for. But they've already, I can't remember the actress's name, but they've already got the lady that's going to play her. I don't see why she's in it. I really don't, because now you are making it Justice League. All you need is the Flash, and you've got Justice League. And I've actually heard a rumor that he might make an appearance too, and this goes back to throwing too many characters into one movie. You can't start off strong and then with the sequel just go, okay, well now that we got their attention with Man of Steel, we're just going to throw everybody in the sequel and they'll accept it. You're going to lose. And DC right now, you can't afford to lose, because just because you've had a major hit, that doesn't make you king of the mountain. You're not even close to touching Marvel, and you need to understand you're not going to touch Marvel. But you still have a chance to catch them if you do it right. Because as many people that love Spider-Man, Wolverine, there are as many of those fans as there are Superman. There may be even more Superman fans, and we just want a good movie. Some of us enjoyed Man of Steel. I loved Man of Steel. I thought it was a great take on the character. Some people didn't, but that doesn't mean they're not Superman fans. It just means they're still waiting for that movie that they're waiting for. They're waiting for their Superman. You have that opportunity, but you're going to mess it up because you're relying on this man to carry it. And it's the wrong move. And if this upsets any Batman fans, I am totally sorry that you feel that way. But if the shoe was reversed and they said they were making a Batman movie and you found out Superman was going to be in it and he's going to be the main star in a Batman-themed movie, you'd be irate too. It makes absolutely no sense. It's a degrade to the character, and it's an insult to any Superman fan. And hopefully they've got time to fix this. It's not too late. The movie, I don't know if they've started shooting it yet, but they said it's going to have a 2016 release. That means they've got time to go back and fix it. And the other thing I'm getting mad at now is I feel like Hollywood's just shoving stuff in our face because they know people will go see it. I don't feel they care about the characters, and I don't feel they care about the fans. I'll give you a perfect example. Michael Bay's Transformers is an insult to Transformer fans. They're great movies, don't get me wrong, but the fact that the man says he's a fan of the Transformers, I ain't seen one thing in these films yet that shows me he's a fan. It just shows me he's trying to cash in on a fan favorite franchise that he hasn't got right yet. Not once has he got it right. They're great movies, but they're not G1 based. They're not based on today's Transformers, like Transformers Prime, so they're Michael Bay's version of Transformers. And some people like them, some people don't. Some people hate the design. Some people say, okay, I can tolerate it. Devastator, I could not tolerate. Revenge of the Fallen's Devastator was a joke, a gorilla with metal balls. That was just wrong. The twins were racist, and I don't care what anybody says. The new Age of Extinction is looking pretty interesting, but am I going into this with great hope? No, because, I mean, it's Michael Bay, and somehow, some way, it's going to mess up. Just like all these people that are going crazy over the Ninja Turtle movie. You're giving your hopes up. I'm telling you, it's not looking good so far. Honestly, it's looking like crap to me. Almost an insult to the Turtle franchise. But I don't care because I'm not a big Turtle fan, and I never really have been. My bottom line is, my problem with Hollywood is I feel like they're just saying, okay, we're going to make a movie, and we're going to throw all these superheroes in it, and everybody's going to go see it because Avengers was #1 hit. So they'll go see Justice League. Yeah, they will, but you're going to ruin the franchise. You're going to hurt your characters, and you're going to piss a lot of your fans off. Even today's fans, you're going to make them mad. You should take the time, do it right. And if you are fans, do the right thing as a fan yourself and make it for the fans, because you haven't. Just like I didn't really... The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was good, but it was not great, and I think it was rushed. That's my personal opinion. I'll do a video on that some other time. But I'm telling you, without making this video too long, I am dreading... And I mean this, absolutely dreading the sequel to The Man of Steel, because it's gone from The Man of Steel 2 to Batman vs. Superman to where I just now think it should be called The Return of Batman featuring Superman, because that's what it sounds like. And to have these two go at it, there's no contest, and they're just going to give him an upper edge somehow. And if I go into this movie a Man of Steel sequel and they let this bastard beat him, there's no telling how irate I'm going to be. I might make a 3-hour video just describing how pathetic it is. So I'm giving the shout out to a couple of people that I know are really big Superman fans. It's not going to be a lot of them, but I know they're out there. 2 in particular. So Stu Murray, if you're watching this, please leave your comments. Make a video on your point of view, how you feel about so far what you've heard on the Man of Steel sequel, or Batman vs. Superman. And I'm talking to Angry Joe and the Angry Joe Club, the mob, his army, the Angry Joe Army. You guys... Joe, you've made some irate videos on Batman, Superman, your thoughts on the movie, and I would love for you to make one on my video and how you feel about it, and how you are feeling about so far this sequel. Are you looking forward to it? Is it scaring you as a Superman fan? You know, do you think Batman's going to get the spotlight and Superman's going to get the hose? I mean, that's how I'm feeling. Let's see how you guys are feeling. And anybody that wants to comment on this video, go ahead and leave me a comment. Make a video yourself expressing how you feel about the movie and how you think the characters are going to be treated. And if you're with me, if you're not with me, I'd still like to hear it. Do you think that he's getting the raw end of the deal in this movie? Alright, guys.